Okay, I want to give you my vision. Now, I'm going to give you a two-part vision. First part vision is the vision of the world. The second part is my personal vision. This is, okay, where the world is going to be. Well, okay, so you're going to be able to interact with all personalities. So, if you wanted to meet George Washington, you're going to be able to meet George Washington and interact with George Washington. If you wanted to meet Jesus or the Buddha, ditto. If you wanted to meet Caligula, you could meet Caligula. You could meet Einstein. You could meet anybody you wanted to. So that is the world that I envision for us. I also envision no limitations. In other words, it's not like in order to meet Dr. Einstein, you're going to have to go and work flipping burgers at McDonald's for 20 years in order to get enough money to pay Hollywood to deliver Dr. Einstein to you. This is because in my current reality, I went to visit the Star Trek character, the Doctor, who was giving a talk in my local town, Robert Picardo. And I was not allowed to speak to Robert Picardo because there was a big musclehead who was looking to collect about $40 from me to have a few minutes with Dr. Picardo. And in my vision, I'm sorry, musclehead, you're going to have to go to the gym and spend your time training people if that's what you want to do. But you're not going to be standing there collecting money so that I can speak with somebody that I want to. Now, what if Picardo doesn't want to talk to me? Well, I'm not going to put it out there. I'm going to put it out there that I'm going to have an interesting conversation with the Doctor from Star Trek, Robert Picardo, in my vision. I don't know how long. It might be just a short talk, or it might be an interesting series of talks, but I'm going to put it out there. And I'm not going to have to pay for it, and I'm not going to have to go through a secretary and security. Let's see, what else can I tell you about the future? In the future, if you want to be 12 years old, you can. If you want to be a girl or a boy or a dog, you can. Let's see. So basically, anything you want. Now, what about people that want to play in murder mysteries? Will there be murders and things? No. I'm sorry. No, there won't be. Why? Because I just did, I sometimes do this thing called stickomancy. And what that is you open a book that, for you it might be at random. For me, I was actually directed to this book. And it's a book of old literature. And I got John Milton. And when I looked on the page that I came to, it said no war. So if there's no war, then there's no murder. Okay, so in other words, no. If you're going to be playing murder mystery, it's going to be fake murder mystery. There's not going to be any murders. There's not going to be any of this killing that we apparently have in today's reality. So that's the vision that I have of where we're going. And, some people might call this like a higher dimensional world where you don't have low frequencies of murder and, but you can look up the fifth dimension, 5D, and at least this is my version of it. And I don't know how many people have talked about meeting perhaps your dead grandparents or great grandparents, but in 5D you can. And so this is my vision. So some of you who have lost loved ones, loved pets and things, you'll be able to experience them again. What else is important to know about my vision? Well, that's the general vision, and you can, put your own things that you want to experience into that vision because that's where we're going. For me personally, well, I love to sing. I love to sing. And some people really enjoy my singing, and my mother not so much. But I do want to continue singing, and for those that like to hear me sing, then they're welcome to come and see me. And I do like singing on a stage. I think, right now I sing with recorded karaoke music. I would love to sing with a real band. And, I do use the karaoke cheat words that are up on the screen. But sometimes I do ad lib and change the words. And who actually is doing that? Well, the way that I work, it is the muse. It's not me. I never know when I'm going to go and change the words. So when I say I'm going to change the words, it's the word that come out of this body. But I don't know. It is quite magical. Sometimes I get quite frustrated when I feel like I'm being stifled and I'm not able to. When I feel trapped. And why do I feel trapped? Well, it's the money society that we live in. I mean, I love to sing, but, once in a while I might win the karaoke draw for $50 or something, but it's certainly not enough for me to live on what I enjoy. And the other thing I love to do is these videos and postings that I do and the comic characters that come through. I like to do this, and I don't get paid for that either. So living in a money economy, I was complaining to my dad today that a one-bedroom apartment in Toronto, Canada is $2,500 a month. It's outrageously expensive, and yesterday my mother was complaining that this grocery store was trying to charge her $5 for celery. So, and our gas just went up in Canada thanks to our carbon tax that is supposed to be protecting the planet, but for me it is a tax on the poor. And I mean, Justin Trudeau gave billions of dollars in forgiven loans to General Motors. So he's got billions of dollars for huge corporations, but for the poor people of Canada, the working people, he sticks it to us and he says it's because, we're polluting. But if you live in Canada, well, you have to have some source for heating your house because it's cold 8 months of the year. You have to have a vehicle to get around because it's a vast country and it's just you have to get around. So it's a tax on the poor. The rich people don't see, any problem paying more for gasoline. And, the big corporations, the deep state, they have got technologies that they are not releasing to us. And in my vision of the future, we will have technologies and we won't have to pay for them. So that is the other thing. Money economy will be gone. Everything will be, as Charles Eisenstein said in his book Spiritual Economics, it will be gifted to you. And that is a heavenly realm, and that's where my vision is of where I'm going. And, if you want to go, then set your intention to go to a heavenly realm where all these things can happen. And as for the people of planet Earth that want to continue to play the money game and the restriction of others and the control drama, well, this is the Matrix. I want to turn it off. So if you're still playing that game, I don't know what advice I have. I mean, I try to talk to these people. I try to talk to them, and they're not available to me. Many people are not available to me. I mean, people that I tried that used to be my friends on Facebook that, either never answer or just strangely after I send them a innocuous thing will block me. So I do think it's vibrational. I think that what people say is that, the people that you interact with have to be somewhere near your vibration. And I'm getting the impression that a lot of people that I used to know are not on any kind of a ascension. In other words, trying to raise their vibration to leave the old 3D world. Or if they are, I have no way of knowing because they're just blocked for me. So it's a guess. It's a guess, and I know my friend Trevor wants to bring everyone to this 5D higher dimension. And, some people say, well, it has to be free will. And if they don't want to come, then how are you going to get them there? Other people say, well, the planet Gaia herself, if you're going to stay with her, she's going to go to this higher dimension. And if you don't want to go there, then you're going to have to find another planet. I don't know the details of it. All I know is you set what your vision is, and my vision is, in my vision, all these characters are going to be available. I said before, if you want to meet Einstein, then he'll be there for you. And it's not going to be a phony baloney Einstein. It's going to be Einstein's personality, and an Einstein, I don't know how he's going to appear as a boy or an adult or whatever, but these things will be available. And so it means all these other people that I can't seem to get in touch with, in this higher dimensional reality, I will. So I guess my friend Trevor is right. All of these beings will be available. Now, is there going to be a version of them that refuses to wake up and... No, I don't think so. I don't know. At least I don't know. It's too difficult to try and figure out. These are difficult questions that... Well, when I was taught to vision, I was taught it's not my job to explain all the little steps of how you get from here to there. And I know a lot of people put that out, that you put out a vision and then you've got to break it down into like projects and then the steps of the projects in order to get there. But I was taught that's incorrect. What you do is you say, basically, I affirm that I am living in a fifth dimensional, heavenly, celestial realm where all the things that I said are possible actually are real and are totally possible and totally actually happen. They're not just saying, well, it's theoretically possible. It's not theoretically possible. It happens all the time. And so it's not my job to see how we get there. And this is the tough part, because I was taught that it's not even... Well, I was always told it was divine right timing. It was the way that the timing would work in linear time. And I was going to jump in and say, well, maybe I want it to happen like yesterday. It already happened. It already happened. And it's already there. That in Chinese, it's to say wasa, wasa, wasa. Already there. Already happened. Already happened. So it's already there. And what am I experiencing now? Well, I'm doing what I like to do. I'm making these videos, and I'm not charging you for them. I haven't met Dr. Einstein yet, but, I don't know. I was thinking of an episode, I think it was Star Trek, where they were playing poker and Dr. Einstein was there, but maybe it was one of the other ones. Anyways, this is the vision. And then as far as my personal vision, I like to continue to talk and do my comic characters and sing. I would like to do windsurfing again. I haven't windsurfed for a long time. I haven't snowboarded for a long time. I like to do that. Ski, I like to do that. I like to go boating. I think I'd like to try maybe snorkeling again. I was going to say scuba diving, but I have never scuba dived, so I guess I would have to do that sometime. I mean, that's the other thing, is in higher dimensional realities, and people are going to have a hard time believing this. My father had a hard time believing this when I told him today. You don't die in higher dimensions. So, and then he said, well, everyone dies on planet Earth. And I said, well, you go to church all the time, and, you're talking about Jesus, and Jesus, well, he had a little death, I suppose, a little death ceremony. But he came back from the dead, so he wasn't actually dead. And that's what I want to put out. There was Leonard Orr's book about, losing the death habit. And that's what I want you all to consider. Leonard Orr says you can lose the death habit. And so just put the vision out there that, somebody today was talking to Bashar on a YouTube channel and was saying, well, my biggest fear is dying a horrible death, painful death. And Bashar said, well, just imagine yourself dying, quietly in your sleep. And I looked at the YouTube screen and I said, Bashar, you're an idiot. Why didn't you just tell her? Well, just plan not to die, not to have a physical death. So this Bashar, who is an Essassani, which is a extraterrestrial, they don't know it all, these extraterrestrials. If you want to know the smartest people on this matrix hologram or this reality, it doesn't necessarily have to be an extraterrestrial. It doesn't mean that there's not smart extraterrestrials. There's plenty of smart humans here. And so don't plan on dying unless you really want to have a funeral or something. And I don't see the point of it. I don't see the point of aging. I mean, some people get married and they said, we're going to grow old together. But, growing old is really not very pleasant. I have signs of aging, even though I put it out there that I don't want to get old. But, I have aches and pains. So I attribute them to ascension symptoms rather than aging. What is it? I don't know. And I don't believe in medical doctors at all. Unfortunately, I'm kind of trapped because the society that I'm still living in believes in medical doctors and big pharmaceutical companies to solve all kinds of problems. And, I guess it's just something that I've been shown. I've been guided more and more into the idea that we're consciousness. And, if we're experiencing all these problems that we are in this world, it's a consciousness problem. It's not a physical problem. When I learned from Dr. Hugh Len, Ho'oponopono, it was basically a prayer of forgiveness and love, and I'd done it for a very long time. And have we progressed? Well, Dr. Hugh Len said we had a lot of stuff that we had to go through. It seems cheap and tawdry to say that, we can't just expect a giant miracle. An angelic book that I read recently said, at some time you'll wake up from this dream that we're in our 3D reality, this dream of separation, and we'll say, oh, I just had a dream. Or maybe you won't even remember the dream, like, a lot of times, like 5 seconds after you wake up from the dream, you've forgotten it, and you're somewhere else. I suppose that's about it. Oh, well, as far as my cosmic characters, I mean, they do talk to me in my head, and you do see some of them come out, that, they come through the body. But I do believe that in higher dimensions, I will actually be able to see them and interact with them using a physical kind of vehicle, if that's what we want to do. Because I think a lot of them would like to come dancing, and they'd like to come sing in my band. My band, am I allowed to tell you the name? I've got several bands, and I've got a number of names, so I'm not going to tell you all the names. One of them is, no, I can't even tell you one. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. I am BobbyBurrows, the actor, comedian, comic, ad-lib person, singer, and futurist, visionary, iconoclast, and generally interesting person.